Peace, love, and happiness. How's it going? Me and my new house plant over there. You see it? It's so cool. My cat loves it too. I'm sending you love. So take it all, embrace it all, embody it all, and live the life that you truly desire. All right, so today I'm bringing it back. I've been speaking of this video for a while that I've been wanting to make. I had some a while back, but I don't think they're as descriptive in detail of how I truly felt in the experience. So, April 2020, after the first lockdown kicked in, I was in a few-week-long drug-induced psychosis / Messiah complex / spiritual awakening, and that was that, okay? So I was in a drug-induced psychosis for about 2-3 weeks in April. Once the first lockdown kicked in, I was already like a huge stoner. At that point, I was smoking 200 poppers every day. I relied on weed and cigarettes to take away pain, to feel actually myself. You know, like in like a Nav song, when I'm sober, I just don't like who I am. That's like, I needed the drugs and alcohol chasing high to feel myself. Unhealthy, I know. And drinking, like I was saying, I was drinking a lot at the time, a few times a week. Always chasing the high, chasing new, like, chasing people, always wanting to hang out with people that didn't really have my best interest in mind, or they didn't care about me, but they hung out with me because I was someone to hang out with at the time, I guess. Okay, and we grew up together, whatever the case was. So when the first lockdown kicked in, I was like, yeah, I'm going to use all this time. I'm collecting my CERB, my $2,000 a month. I'm going to use this time just to get high. More. Party more. Be myself. And at the same time, I was doing a lot of research on... I was watching like Infinite Waters, Ralph Smart. I was watching spiritual videos, conspiracies. Oh, is this thing going on real? Is this a zombie apocalypse? Everything like that, right? I think everybody was for a little bit at that time. So it ended up leading me to like acid, because I heard someone talking about it, I think at a job a few weeks before the lockdown, and I was like, I could do acid. I've done shrooms before. I got shrooms in my house right now. No, I don't. If the cops was, I don't. And those are pretty good. So I was like, acid's a little bit different. It's like a next level up almost. So I got 2 tabs of Rick and Morty, 350 UGs of acid. And I think I gave one to the dealer, one of my dealers at the time, who I think was actually lacing my weed with Xanax. So that didn't help the whole situation. And I was starting to get into Xanax too at the time. And I was staying up 3-4 days in a row. 2-3 days maybe. I don't remember too much, all the details. But I was staying up a few days in a row, smoking nonstop. Shatter pens, like 90% THC. Shatter chocolate bars, cookies and cream. Tasted good, but not healthy when you're eating the whole thing in like 2 minutes. And still smoking nonstop, constantly. Toke. And I don't know exactly when the psychosis kicked in. I know it was like a slow process. But then when I did the acid, it was kind of like a more instant, I guess. So I did the acid. I think I cut up the one piece into like 3 squares or something. And I was in this same room actually. So, but it was a mess. And I took the tab of acid, and over a certain amount of time that day, I guess, I had a conclusion that I was Jesus. I was a reincarnation of the modern day Jesus. And at the time, I guess I finished seeing like the movie, The Bible, and the character, I guess, looked like me at the time or something. I looked like Jesus or something. So I'm like looking in my mirror. I'm like bowing. I'm like, I'm Jesus. Hello again. Welcome to this earth right now in these times. And I started, I think, in my room, and I was just being in my head. And I was organizing everything in the room like I could control the whole world with my mind, or with what I'm doing in this room. And I wanted peace on earth. I wanted heaven on earth. I wanted more harmony, more love, everything, more abundance, right? So I'm like doing certain things in my room. I have a Buddha over there, and I was like, oh, these are for my buddies. Buddhas are buddies. We need more friends in this world. We need more love. I had a box. I put like a love in it. Like I was putting like a heart, some type of love that represented love to me. Certain things I was putting in my room. I was organizing it. Obviously, I looked outside. It didn't happen. And I was singing a lot. Like I thought it was Jesus, the king of the world, because my mom was born in England, so I thought I was somehow royalty, and like a celebrity or something. I thought I was a reincarnation of Freddie Mercury too, because I had a picture of my dad when he was younger, and he kind of looked like Freddie Mercury, I guess, okay? And that was the beginning of these journeys. So I think like maybe 1 or 2 days in, my grandma ended up dying, and she was in England. So my mom had to go fly out. So a few days later, my mom had to fly out to England, meaning I would be alone for the next 3 weeks, I think she was going for. And I think like one day before she left, my buddy actually, who was in psychosis for like 5 years, on nonstop, or like off and on, he was like, Scott, you're going through a psychosis. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm showing him, though, like he remembers saying it made sense at the time. I was showing him certain things on my phone, like numbers, almost like angel numbers, or like signs and synchronicities of these certain numbers that led me to a site, that led me to a video, that it kind of made sense at the time. It made sense to me. And that didn't really faze me too much. So now my mom's in England. Okay, I'm all alone. Oh, wait, no. Before she left, I walked to the lake near my house, and there was about a 25 foot cliff, and it's like a concrete wall, I guess, and there's a drain that goes out that leads to the lake, okay? So that drain, I jumped off, because when I went there, I saw there was a pink alien and a blue alien. Now, I'm also an alien, too, throughout this whole thing, and I was just sitting there. I was walking down to that place, fanning a Kate Spade blanket. I'm in like some Jesus fucking outfit. Like I looked up a picture of Jesus on Google, and he had like that, that red tank top thing or whatever, and like so I did my best to look like how Jesus did in those pictures. And I'm walking down the street fanning this blanket. I got fucking those black flies that are hitting on my face. I'm covered in them, and I think I took another piece of acid on the way down. And as I get down there, I think this is like some fucking Red Sea. So I got to part it. I got to jump off it and part the Red Sea. And I'm sitting there maybe for like 5-10 minutes, just looking off into the distance, into the ocean. I'm like, this is the edge of the world. This is where Jesus was. This is like Jerusalem. Or I wasn't very biblically inclined at the time. I didn't know too much. My grandma was religious, so I thought her dying was a transfer of something. I don't know. And I eventually like jump. So I jump off this cliff, and I thought everything was being filmed too by the invisible cameras, universe, whatever, like in the Truman Show vibe. And so I end up jumping straight off, spinning around, and I'm like going, I guess I'm like flying down on my back, and then I hit the water. Luckily it wasn't as shallow because the water was a little bit higher, still maybe like 4 feet deep, not even, and I'm jumping from pretty high, and I hit on my back and then hit the ground a little bit. Luckily, I didn't pass out either. It's a divine purpose, I guess, that I didn't die that day. And I end up getting up. My clothes are like off. I'm wearing like the flip-flops I was wearing fall off. So I'm wearing like my swim shorts and my t-shirt now. And I'm climbing up. It's pretty cold too. Like it's April 2020. It's a little cold here in Canada at that time. And I climb up the side of the wall because I think that, well, the sea didn't part. So clearly I'm not Moses in that moment. And I thought I was going to get sucked out and just drown, and I didn't want to die. So then I run up to the drain. I yell my buddy's name because I think he's like on the other side of this drain listening. He didn't come. And I thought I would have to like climb through it and do like some underground, under pyramid Jesus thing. That didn't happen. I climbed up the wall, and it's like a dirt wall. So I'm covered in mud now. I'm on the top. Now I got to walk home. Got to go shower, clean off. But I'm walking barefoot up the street, covered in mud. My forehead was bleeding, I guess, from when I hit the drain when I was trying to get through it. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm like, some people probably think I'm crazy, but soon enough, everybody's going to know that I'm Jesus Christ. the new Jesus Christ, okay? And I'm going to here to save everybody, usher in heaven on earth, peace on earth, love on earth, happiness on earth. And I'm like walking, I think I was like bowing down at people. And when I get home, I think I told my mom or maybe some, I don't know. And she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm Jesus. And she's like, no, you're not. My grandma just died, or my mom just died. I'm sad. So she was going through her own thing. I was going through my own thing. And then I had to finish the ceremony though. So once I finished everything in my room, it's like I don't know the order of everything that happened. I know what happened for the most part, but I don't know the order. So I might go back and forth. This ain't as chronologically ordered as I can make it. And I stabbed a nail in my hand. So it was about a 2-inch nail. And I put my hand in a cigar box, which I keep my crystals in now. Jesus, like I'm saying. And I'm just like, I stab it. Didn't go through the middle. It was more like, I'm surprised it didn't scarf me. It was like more up here. And it went maybe halfway and didn't go through my hand. And then as my mom's coming up the stairs, like she heard me yell, I'm pulling it out. And I think when you keep your hand above your heart, it doesn't bleed right away because it's some pumping thing. So then I'm like, it's not bleeding. I'm Jesus. And then it started bleeding. Still believed I was Jesus. And then I think I went and showered it. And then my mom had to go the next day or whatever it was. I don't even remember her leaving, to be honest. And now the next like few weeks by myself, I'm at home. I go through these like experiences. I start watching a lot of Joe Rogan, Infinite Waters, Aaron Dowdy, those kind of spiritual and conspiracy videos, I guess, and going down a lot of rabbit holes. And I thought I was everything in every video, like Joe Rogan, especially. People like I'm rich, I'm wealthy, I'm these aliens, I'm all these things. So I'm trashing my house compared to it. So like at one point I was trying to reverse engineer an alien craft. I was watching that episode of Joe Rogan, but I'm using like a fucking fan. I have this like doll I was putting on top of it. I was putting a bowling ball on my memory foam mattress upside down to try and balance out some anti-gravity thing. And this, like, my whole house is smashed at this point. Like, my mom's room, everything is open in her room. Like, everything thrown out of her drawers or closet. I'm trying on her clothes, thinking they're mine because I don't know. My room's trashed. Holes in the wall. I tried doing rentals from making my room an ensuite into the bathroom. There's a hole in the fucking wall. I have, like, desks everywhere, glass. I was stepping in glass, nails, like, shit all over the floor. Fridge is open, smashed. And this is probably over, like, the 5-day period, this thing, where I'm smashing everything. And maybe the whole time. I don't know exactly. TV smashed. All the phones I owned and the house phone smashed. The Wi-Fi router smashed. Ice cream fucking smeared all over the floor. Shit everywhere in the house, okay? And I would go through, read every single file, read every single thing in our crawl space, everything in my mom's room. I thought I had kids. They extracted semen from me, and I had genetically modified kids. It was intense, right? And I could channel anything though. So I like all my friends, none that I don't talk to really anymore, I would channel their energies. So I'm like rapping or something when I'm putting on music, when I still have, I guess the laptop was the only thing I didn't smash. This one I'm still using actually. And I would channel, like I'd be like, oh, my friend that did coke. I'd be like, I'm channeling this coke energy. Them. So they're channeling them through me. So I start rapping. I'm like, oh yeah, and I'm doing the fucking coke. I'm doing that, but I'm like speaking faster, taking on their coke energy. And then someone's like, no, they're like, you need to slow down. I'm getting like voices of them in my head. And then I'd slow down. I'd take it mellow because I just smoked a joint and I'm feeling yellow. You know, like something like that, right? And I'm channeling just different people. I'm channeling my grandma. I'm channeling my, like, dad. Like, everybody I was channeling. Who knows if I was? I don't know. And I would go out every few hours, every day, whatever. I'd try on a different outfit. I think the whole thing of it, too, was that I was going to find my love, my soulmate, my twin flame, my queen of the world. So every time I'd go out, I would think that I'm going to meet her. Or she's going to come up to me and pick me up in a Porsche. And we're going to drive off and I'm not going to be psychotic anymore. Because I didn't think I was. I was just in my own reality, right? An altered state of consciousness and reality. And we, I thought every time I'd come home, there'd be all my friends there. and they'd watch what I just went through because I was part of it, so I can be in a new movie role. I don't know. Like, I had so many different concepts and theories going on that they all made sense. Even if they didn't make sense, someone like I would talk to outside or something, an experience that happened, it wouldn't like bring me down. It just I just put it on the back. It doesn't make sense. I'm still Jesus. I'm still the king. I'm still a lover. So I would go out and like win my mom's tights, pink shirts, nail polish on me or painting things, and just walk. I'd go to the lake. I'd be jumping over things, and I'd hear, I swear, like people, because there was people out at this time still. They'd like, yeah, you're gonna find your lover. Yeah, go buddy, go buddy. I don't know if that they actually, or they were playing around because they just thought I was some crazy fucking psychotic dude. I don't know. And then I ended up like walking barefoot, running barefoot, thinking I'm in an apocalypse movie, chains around my neck, shirtless everywhere, running in the forests, on the streets, putting fucking bags on my head on the street, scarves around my eyes so I can't see, but I could still see, like weird shit like that, because it was all for the purpose of I knew I was gonna become the king and Jesus in the end, right? This is my initiation into Jesushood. And I ended up, there's a car wreckage plant auction place behind my house. I had a machete at the time too, so I hopped the barbed wire. I went under it first, and I was trying to break into cars, thinking I was in a zombie apocalypse show, movie, whatever, because I like The Walking Dead. Okay, and then they found me and like, what are you doing here? I'm like, and then I hopped the fence, and that was it. That was that. So I didn't get in trouble for that. And then I was climbing on my roof, and I'm on like 3 stories up. I'm on the top floor, so I climbed out my window onto the roof, went to the edge, fell off, like I was doing some like Assassin's Creed scaling type thing, fell off, and I landed. So it was like a 15-20 foot drop, and I was like, I didn't break anything. I'm Jesus. And then I think a cop saw me at some point. He's like, hey, get back here. And then I ran, made it home. And then another night, maybe I think it was 2 a.m, I ended up walking down the street to this house that I would walk by in the psychosis. It was called Planet Homes. But I thought, because I'm an alien, it's my planet. It's my home. I own everything, but that's my home. So I went to the door, and I guess it was unlocked. I swear I tried it. It wasn't. And then I tried it again, and it was open. And it's a nice new home that was just kind of getting finished built. It had like still a little bit left to like be renovated on it, whatever. But it was a nice home. And I don't know if there was people home. I thought my friends were upstairs chilling. So I go inside. I put on their flippers, I think. Put on their slippers. Put on like a shirt, and I'm like admiring everything. I'm like, those are my bananas. Those are my couches. And then I walk through a window onto their balcony. I'm looking, and then I come back in. I sit on the couch. And I'm just sitting there. And then cops end up coming in. Maybe like 3 or 4 cops. I think there was more after on the street, but I get arrested. They're like, yo, this isn't your house. Like, we're like, get on the ground. So I'm like on the ground, and they cuff me. And I'm like, this is my house. My mom owns it. I live up the street, yes, but my mom owns this one too. Bad cops, I'd say, on it. That couldn't judge the situation. They just thought I was making an excuse. I don't know. I was pretty fucking psychotic. Looking back at it now, and I ended up going to jail. And there was always women. The women cop, I went in the car, but she was blonde. Hot. She was gorgeous, yes. And I thought she was gonna fuck me or do something. We went back to the station. She didn't fuck me. A few cops came on, like, here, you got it, blah, blah, blah. And then I got to walk home that same night. So I didn't think anything happened. I was in the lockup car for like an hour, maybe. No jail cell, nothing like that. No processing. And then later last year in like September, October, a cop came to my door. He's like, you missed your court case. You got to go get your fingerprints. So I did that. I was facing like 3 months in jail, or 90 days, yeah, something like that, for breaking and entering with intent to steal. No intent to steal. But now I'm on like a divergent mental health plan. So that's all. I didn't go to jail. I learned from that. And then I think I would just do more shit during the psycho, like go trash my house more, sleep in the backyard in the shed, trash more house, walk around, put more bags on my heads. That was that thing. And then at some point my dad came over because my parents were divorced and I was home alone, and because I wasn't answering my phone because I smashed it outside somewhere. And he's like, what the like he's screaming. He's like, yo, you trashed the whole house. And I'm like, I'm the king. He's like, I'm calling the cops. And I was like, yeah, well, I'm immune. No, what's that? I can't go to jail because I'm the king or whatever. You know, they have that immunity or whatever. I don't know. So He calls cops. I think SWAT might have came. That's what my sister said, but I don't know because I had the machete, even though I left that at the place I broke into days before I actually broke into that place. And they came. Obviously, I'm not a criminal, so they're just, well, kind of at that point, but they're just taking me to the hospital. So I come outside in a pink thong, my mom's pink thong, a fedora, and Kegel beads in my dick, like in the front part of it. And then I'm walking out. My neighbors are all there. It's the daytime too. It's sunny or whatever. So I'm like, and there's a picture. I'll put it, if I can put it in here, I'll put it in here as the a thumbnail. I'm getting into the ambulance. It's such a good, I've laughed so much at it. I'm so glad I found the picture because a reporter took the picture and then he had to take it down because it's private property, because it's my ass. Nobody got the full story. People commented on that Facebook post too, and they're like, oh, stuff about my ass, stuff about my hat. That hat doesn't matter. I don't know. So I ended up going to the hospital. I thought, and there was a cute ambulance driver. I thought she was going to fuck me. So I kind of chased her out of my I was in my handcuffs. I took my seatbelt off and fell at her. And then I went to hospital, was in like the crazy lockup for like 2-3 days, broke my pinky in the process of it, chained down for a few hours. And then when you finally come back to reality, then they'll bring you up to the crazy floor, the psych ward floor, C4, Lake Ridge Health Hospital in Oshawa. And also there was again a hot security guard that I thought was speaking through the SpongeBob episodes that I was watching on the TV in this locked up room. And I was doing like Kung Fu Panda ninja moves because that was also what I was watching. And like throwing my food wrappers in the room, closing my eyes and doing ninja moves and picking them up without looking. And then just more like thinking in the hospital of like, these are all my friends. They're older and whatever. And then hot nurses, hot doctor, hot patients in there. And I was in there for all of May. May 2020, I was in the hospital. Just over 30 days, I think. And then it was on like 5 meds, came out. A week or 2 after, I went off the meds because I knew they didn't do shit. I was still psychotic the day I left. I was more grounded, but I still thought something was up until I came back to reality maybe a week or 2 after the hospital and after the meds. And now here we are. The past year and a half, it's been, I've gone through a dark night of the soul, a spiritual awakening. Who am I? What do I truly desire in life? What do I want? Love. I like that whole experience, you know? That's my story, though. And I've seen a lot of videos on psychosis and spiritual awakening. And, I just ask questions. Was it normal? I don't know. Like, was it meant to happen? Was it a divine intervention? Maybe. Was it just that I was crazy and now I'm living in some schizophrenic world? Maybe. I don't know. But thanks for watching. I really hope if you are going through something similar, if you haven't gone through something similar, let me know in the comments. Hit me up on Instagram and DM me and we can talk about it. Because I'm actually talking to one dude that's gone through similar experiences. It's cool, you know. That's it. I'm Scott Vlad. I'm out of here. Peace.